What up, gang? July 30th, 2022. Dad, what are we doing here this morning?
Teaching Layton how to make an over easy egg.
How do we do that, sir?
The trick with an over easy egg is don't get your pan too hot. You want to do this kind of slow. That's where most people mess up doing an over easy egg. So keep that temp turned down, medium at the highest. Okay?
And that's on a single burner, right?
It's on a single burner. Medium. Get about a tablespoon of oil in there. Let that oil get hot. And once the oil is hot, then put about a tablespoon of margarine or butter in there. What that will do is that will keep that butter from burning. And notice how this is not sticking to the bottom of that pan. That's what I want. I can actually move it around, just tilting the pan. That's the trick with an over easy egg, is you don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan at all. That's why you want that oil and that little bit of butter in there to keep that egg from sticking. Okay? And you just let it kind of cook slow. What you'll notice is the outside edge of that will cook first. When the outside edge of that is cooked almost all the way through and you're starting to see the inner circle here starting to cook on top, that's when you want to flip it over. When you flip it over, 5-10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds at the most, that's going to give you your over easy on the other side of the egg. What that does is it doesn't cook the yolk. It's over easy instead of over hard.
Oh.
Okay?
So it technically would over hard be like...
Over hard is when you cook that thing, when you cook the yolk. We don't want over hard, we want over easy. Okay? See how it's still moving around, just tilting the pan?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want. See how I'm starting to cook all the way on the outside? I'm starting to get a little bit going on the inside. I'm just gonna let that keep going for another minute or so before I flip it. Now, the other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to burn the bottom side of it. You'll know if you're starting to get too hot on the bottom because you'll start getting those bubbles coming through on the top of this inner circle of the egg. And it'll start sticking to the bottom of the pan, which is also something you don't want. Now, the best way I've found to serve these things is right there, over a toasted English muffin. Goes great with an over easy egg. And all I'm gonna do, I really need a better spatula. I'm gonna get underneath this thing, get way underneath it. I'm gently gonna lay it over, just like that, okay? Like I said, it's not going to take much time on this other side to get this thing to an over easy state. Because I don't want to cook the yolk. I just want to cook the white on the outside of the yolk. So I'm going to give it about 10, 15, 20 seconds there. That should be plenty to get the underside of that cooked. Okay. See how you can still see it moving? If you wiggle it, you see that egg yolk still moving? That's what I want. I want that egg yolk to move. Now, I will teach you another secret. If you really want to, you got to be careful doing this, especially with a nonstick pan. But if you will actually get a spoon underneath that yolk, like that, you can pick that egg up a lot easier without breaking the yolk, because you've actually got it cupped into the spoon. You just lay that over your English muffin. Now, here's the beauty of an over easy egg if it's done right. Watch what happens when you cut this critter.
This is just gonna go.
When you cut this, if it's over easy and it's done right, that yolk just runs everywhere.
So it's like a fried egg, but...
It's a fried egg, but it's over easy instead of over hard.
So a fried egg is just an over hard egg?
A fried egg is you cook the yolk too. This is an over easy, and over hard is you cook the yolk too.
Well, the things you learn. You know, there's a sauce you can put on that. I found at Target. You wanna know what it is?
Sriracha?
No. Chogandes.
Ooh, let's try it.
Chogandes nuts.
Now, so there's you still got enough butter and oil in that pan. If we wanted to do another over easy egg, we probably could, but
I am good, my brother. In Christ, I am good.
if you want to do another one, I may add another half a teaspoon of oil, another half a teaspoon of butter, just to make sure I got plenty. to keep that next egg from sticking, but you can do this over and over again. The trick is make sure you got that pan ready to go. You don't want it too hot. You want to keep it medium low, and make sure you get that oil in there before your butter, because your butter will burn.
Right, butter will burn to the bottom of the pan.
Unless you're using unsalted butter. Unsalted butter doesn't burn like salted butter does.
Unsalted butter doesn't burn?
Unsalted butter does not burn like salted butter does.
So it burns, it just burns different.
It just burns really, it takes it, you got to get it super hot to burn it. Okay?
You got to get flash point.
So if you're going to make like brown butter, like if you're going to make a brown butter sauce, you'll use salted butter because you want it to cook, you want that butter to cook.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's other things that you don't want that butter to burn, you just want that butter flavor, use unsalted butter. It will not burn like regular butter.
Fantastic. It's amazing the things I learned just when, I'm just hanging out with you. Like literally, woke up this morning, hey Dad, want an egg? And what do you know? We got vlog material out of it.
That's how you do it.
That's just because my dad's that cool.
I wouldn't say that. Now,
I mean, you're
I'm
alright.
going to take mine to the next level.
You're putting Creole seasoning?
I'm going to hit mine with a little bit of Creole seasoning because I like that spice. Notice I didn't put a whole bunch of stuff in it in the pan. Here's why. You never salt an egg. You never want to salt an egg before you cook it because it starts breaking down the proteins and the enzymes in the egg, and the egg won't cook right. You always salt an egg after you've cooked it because you don't want it to break down the egg.
That makes sense. Because salt is like naturally
if you're going to spice an egg, if you're going to put any kind of spice on an egg, do it after you've cooked it so that you don't break the egg itself down.
Right, that makes sense. Because salt does like naturally break stuff down. Like, for example, salt water.
It does. Now that right there, as our old boy on YouTube says, put that on a crack-a-dude.
What's that guy's name? I just know him as the put that on a crack-a-doodle.
I don't know his name, but I gotta give me some of that Cajun two-step.
That Cajun
I wanna
two-step's
try
really,
that
really
one.
good. I do know that while we wait, we hydrate. That dude goes everywhere with like a beer bong.
I like that dude. That dude's awesome. And he built too. He work out. You can tell by looking at him.
I don't know if he works out like the same way you and me do, but that's like a corn-fed Cajun boy is what that is.
Well, that's true to an extent, but
Yeah, like I'm not saying like he's like big, but he's like, you can tell he's got some like meat on his bones.
But that dude, I got a lot of respect for that dude too. Cause you see all the philanthropy stuff he does,
The what?
all the stuff he does to help other people and to
Oh,
raise money
philanthropy.
and awareness, and he's really a philanthropist. He is a good dude. I mean, you watch that dude, his heart's good. His heart's good. Yeah, he cooks good food. Yeah, he drinks a little beer, but his heart is amazing.
Well,
His heart for people. is
Half of the time, that's like how that works. I don't know why.
There's a lot of people that act like they want to act like they got a good heart, but they don't ever do anything to help anybody. This guy doesn't talk anything about his heart. He never talks about how good his heart is. He shows it. I'm trying to tell somebody got a good heart. They don't have to brag about it. But life shows it.
I don't know why that made me think of this, but in the game, Red Dead. There's like this weird couple in the game. And you like stumble upon their shack or whatever, and then they ask you like, yeah, this guy like stole from us or whatever, and you like have to go get this guy. And it's like, whatever, okay, fine. These people are gonna pay me or give me a meal or some crap, and I'm not gonna have to use my reserves or whatever.
Right.
If I go get this guy, okay, whatever. You grab the guy, you bring him back, you hang out with the husband on the front porch for a little bit, you go back inside, and you eat. I knew there was something fishy about these people because I saw the spoilers as to why those people were so weird. They're cannibals.
Oh.
Yeah. It was weird. Because like the whole time they were like talking about this guy and they were like all lovey-dovey on each other. I'm like, something ain't right. Something is off about these people. And then sure enough, they spoil it and they eat people. And it's weird.
Well, yeah.
Another thing about it is I found like So me and JJ, we were playing Red Dead Online one time, and we're just like going up the side of this mountain or whatever, like avoiding bounty hunters or something. And we look, and all of a sudden, like I noticed that there's like a skeleton in the ground. I'm just like, oh, whatever. And then I also noticed that that skeleton is at least like 10 feet tall in game. Yeah, and me and JJ were anime fanatics, so we immediately tied it to Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, JJ, Titans once roamed the earth.
Now,
I could totally go into the entire lore about that too. Did you get the muscadine jelly out?
now, you Northerners are probably not going to be familiar with this stuff right here. This is muscadine jelly. Now,
Dad, we're from the north, just not north.
I know, but I spent a good deal of time in the south. So, muscadine jelly, if you mix like apple and grape and blackberry, you kind of get the flavor of a muscadine.
I had a kid at VBS bring me a muscadine berry.
Muscadine jelly is muscadine jam. Muscadine is
Very interesting.
it's the jelly of the South, man. It's the good stuff.
Yeah, that's like the one jelly I will like fiend over. It's super good.
That's the way I am. I don't usually eat much of the other jellies, but when it comes to muscadine jelly, we don't eat that.
There's a place up north in where is so Branson? Yeah, Branson. In Branson, Missouri. There's a theme park. It's a Christian theme park called Silver Dollar City, and it's just like a Six Flags, but they have like this massive store inside, and then they have this section, and they have it looks like a produce section at Walmart, but it's nothing but jelly. Because we had heard about muscadine jelly, right, from like Duck Dynasty, and then we found it in Silver Dollar City, and we were like, we're copping it.
Yeah.
Silver Dollar City apple butter. Oh, that is so good. I love Silver Dollar City apple butter. Yeah, you got that too up there, don't you? Yeah.
That right there.
Oh, that's not Silver Dollar City. That's
not Silver
Tanya's.
Dollar City, that's Tanya's, but I always got apple butter on hand.
Yeah, bro.
I like that one.
That's apple butter too. You see that purple package up there? Can you get rid of that? I got that for Leo, and Leo did not ever eat it.
What is it?
It's a vitamin supplement thingy for him. Like, keep him healthy. And the damn lizard wouldn't eat it. And I'm like, you need to eat that. Mealworms tore it up, but Leo didn't. Leo tore up the mealworms. I need to go get him crickets. What I need to do.
Yeah, you gotta feed the lizard, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nah, just let him starve. Just kidding. I gotta take care of Leo.
Oh. My red peppers,
You see, I was really confused last night when I put my hands into my mug and there was a bowl of what I thought were red pepper flakes.
So I grew some serrano peppers. I also had to make my own red pepper flakes this year. So that'll be fun.
Do you think are they any good? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
They good?
Got some heat. They're not bad, but they got some heat.
Well, they're serranos. Which serranos? Those are what?
Really good.
Well, right. They're really good. I hate to do this to you. Can I get one of those? I have not actually ate anything edible this morning. I've just drank 2 cups of coffee.
Tear it up, brother. Tear it up. There's something about that muscadine jelly that just...
The muscadine jelly is good, bro.
It hits different.
Dang, bro. Crunchy.
Mm.
Dad's a fan of the muscadine jelly.
Now here's where I see some people make a mistake in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I can toast bread in my pan and be fancy and all that stuff. But why would I do that when I'm just making breakfast for you and me? Okay. Keep your damn toaster handy. You know, can you do that stuff? Yeah. Can I do it? Yeah. But why would I waste time doing that? You know, unless I'm trying to, unless
Impress
I'm feeding a
somebody.
bunch of people or I'm having a dinner party or something like that. Don't kill yourself in the kitchen. Enjoy what you're doing in the kitchen, and there's time you can spend that time better doing other things, especially if you're doing like a big party or something like that. There's certain things that I won't compromise on. I will never put bacon in an oven. I've seen a lot of restaurants and stuff that bake their bacon in an oven.
What the?
There ain't no way. The only way my bacon gets cooked is in a frying pan or on a griddle. I don't ever cook my bacon in an oven. I think that's
That's
ruins
a
the flavor of the bacon.
well. That's just
Doesn't.
that's just an insult to bacon, bro.
No.
We don't play about our bacon. Fun fact: he makes the best bacon and pancakes I've never met, and hamburgers. He makes the best hamburgers. Which the way you make hamburgers, that's some great grandpa taught
What
you.
most people do is they overcomplicate it. I think they gotta have 700 different spices, 14 different jars of spice out. They think they gotta have 17 different sauces and 600 different. No, simple. Hamburger is very simple. Roll that hamburger out. What I do,
Because he's not fancy with a lot of things, and this really isn't even fancy. This is just a old trick we picked up from. Because Papa taught you how to do that, right?
no, this is my own thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Popo is just salt and pepper. Popo's thing with a little salt and a lot of pepper. What I do is, for every 2.5 pounds of hamburger, you get a snack pack of crackers, of Ritz crackers. I crush them into a powder. I mix that with every 2.5 pounds, one of those little snack packs to every 2.5 pounds of hamburger meat. And then, right before I put them on the grill, the big thing you want to do with a hamburger that'll help you get it cooked right and help you get it cooked a little quicker is try to get it as close to room temperature as you can before you cook it. So when I'm gonna make hamburgers, I'll get that hamburger out about a half hour ahead of time and let it start warming up. And then while it's warming up, I'm crushing my crackers, getting them ready to go. And then I mix all that in a bowl and I roll out balls that are about 1/3 of a pound. And I do smashy burgers a lot. And so I roll those balls out to about 1/3 of a pound. They'll already have that in it. I'll hit them with just a little bit of salt and pepper before I put them on the grill. What you don't want to do is make a hamburger that doesn't taste like a hamburger. If it tastes like salt and pepper, you've ruined the hamburger. If it tastes like Ritz crackers, you've ruined the hamburger. That hamburger has a flavor. It has an umami to it. And what you don't want to do is season it so heavy that you take away that natural flavor of the hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you don't have a hamburger anymore.
I said
You
that.
got some other concoction.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with a steak. You can over flavor a steak, you can marinate steaks, you can do all kinds of stuff. And what you do is, if you ever do that, you'll take a bite of that steak and be like, yeah, that's steak, but you don't taste any beef. Well, it's over seasoned or it's over marinated.
Mm-hmm.
You want, the reason we eat beef, the reason we eat chicken, the reason we eat these things is so we can taste that flavor. And salt, if done properly, will help elevate that flavor. If overdone, will bury that flavor. So you've got to be careful with how much you salt and pepper and how much you spice and things like that. And I've inadvertently done that a few times where I've overspiced something. Usually when I was in a hurry and wasn't paying attention, or a lid on on a bottle or something wasn't tight and I just dumped it. So
I've witnessed that. I said umami the other night, because there was like, what are like the 4 flavor sensations inside the human mouth, and it was like sweet, sour, salt, spicy.
you have sweet, savory, spicy, and umami.
And no, sour apparently is one of them, and umami, because there's 5 total. But
The 2 big ones that you look for, well, 3 if you're dealing with meat. The 2 big ones you look for in 90% of dishes are sweet and sour, but you want to balance those 2. You don't want to have something that's so sour that you can't eat it, but you don't want something that's so sweet you can't eat it either.
do you mean sweet and
So-
spicy?
No, sour. you can over acid or you can over sweet. So you try to balance the acid and the sweet.
The more you know. It's
It's
fun.
like, so like if somebody's gonna make like a coulis, and they're gonna use cherries for the coulis,
What's cool?
which is basically just a sauce. It's a sauce that you cook out. And if you're gonna make, so let's say you're gonna make a cherry coulis. Well, I'm not gonna choose a bright maraschino cherry for that because it's super, super sweet, and I don't want that. What I want is a cherry flavor, but I wanted a balanced cherry flavor. So I'm gonna pick, I want to pick a more acidic cherry that will balance its sweetness a little bit with its tartness. So I may go for a black cherry, or something other than a bright maraschino cherry. Just because of, I don't want that super sweet if I'm trying to balance it.
Makes sense. No, I'm kind of glad I didn't go to that car meet this morning. Because I think I could have went, but I know that Mom was like trying to like not blow my money going to car meets.
Well, big thing is you worked hard for that all summer. You don't want to blow it all in one shot.
Well, yeah, which at the car meet, I wasn't spending money at the car meet. It was like the gas money part of it.
I'm gonna put these crackers up. Something I'll make here.
Put those crackers up. Where you put me?
Right here in the box.
Just kidding. Where you putting us? Haha, get it? Because we're crackers?
You funny.
I am funny. I'm hilarious, actually.
You try to be funny.
Oh my gosh, bro. So yesterday, that thing is still hot. That's crazy. Yesterday, scariest thing happened to me. So I was with Natalie out in PCB, and we were at the Publix on Back Beach, and we were just walking through there, and Natalie wanted a poke bowl. So we go to Publix, and I'm like, oh, sometimes these Publixes have poke bowls. Like, do you want to get one here? And she's like, yeah, sure. So we go over to the sushi section. They don't make poke bowls. We go to the subsection. They don't have anything fish because she's pescatarian or whatever. So yeah. So that was off the table. So she's just like, I'll just get sushi, whatever. We walk back over there. Previously, we had went to the Tropical Smoothie Cafe, which is like right down the plaza. And she's like drinking or whatever. And there's like this 6'3", like big, beefy, I'm assuming he was like Haiti or maybe Dominican Republic. But like, because you could tell his like English wasn't perfect, but he could speak it well enough that I could understand it. And it was so weird because he like was like really assertive, and he's like, where you get that? I was like, huh? He's like, where you get that? And he was like, the way he was coming off, it sounded like very like assertive almost.
Where you get that?
Yeah, it was like that, but like it was like super weird. And so I just like, and Natalie was confused, so I just looked at the guy. I'm like, okay, so if you go right outside the Publix and you go down all the way to the end of the plaza, there's a place called Tropical Smoothie Cafe. That's where we got it from. And he's just like, thank you. And he went on about his day. I'm just like, simple, straightforward answer.
Most people don't take time to understand.
It was like yesterday with Josh at the DMV. At our local DMV, we have a guy in Lynn Haven. If you live in Lynn Haven, you probably know who I'm talking about. There's this guy at the DMV. His name's Joshua, and he's deaf.
And he's fantastic to work with.
Oh yeah, he's awesome to work with. I pray every time I go to the DMV, I get Josh.
Sit down at that keyboard and have a conversation with that dude.
Yeah, like
It's worth it.
yeah. So like, if you don't know any ASL, he has like this like it's like a two-way.
It's two-way keyboard with two-way screen.
Yeah, with a two-way screen, and you can see what he's typing, and he can see what you're typing, so that way you guys have like a conversation and figure out like what you're doing with your title or whatever. Because at first, like, it didn't click to me that he was deaf, because I was really confused like with the keyboard at first, and then I like I heard him talk, and deaf people have like that specific tone in their voice when they talk, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's deaf. That's like super cool to see that like he has like his own thing that's like provider or whatever.
And the government and the place where he works, the Bay County Tax Collector's Office, which is a government agency, has made it accessible for him to be able to work.
Yeah, exactly. And
To
like
me,
he,
that just speaks to the government in Florida.
well, it's not just
That's
that,
why
but
it's the
like
best
it
state in the
also
union, 'cause
it also
we actually do stuff like
well, it's
that.
not just like that, but it also speaks to like the fact that like he didn't label himself as like disabled, because like some people could just like say, yeah, I'm disabled, and get like that check every month. But that guy's like out there and he's like making a living, and it's like super cool to see.
Yep.
I also knew a little bit of ASL, so it was like cool to get to use that during the summer.
I never saw anything like that in my entire life in Missouri. I never saw that once. I never saw a government agency that actually made accommodations for someone with a disability to work there.
I was about to say, like,
Never
I saw
saw.
people in Missouri all the time who label themselves as disabled so they could get that check. It's like, what are you talking
No, I
about?
mean,
Yeah, you
a
mean, like-
government agency that actually worked with them
Yeah,
to do that.
they're like, oh, hey, this guy wants a job. Let's get him the job.
Send them to Voc Rehab, get them all these skills, but now they can't use them because they can't find a job because there's nobody willing to make the accommodation for them
Right.
to use that skill. That's the problem. In Florida, you saw yesterday that you have a government that's actually interested in doing that. It's why Florida is the best state in the union, right there.
That's also like there's a girl who lives here in Panama City. Her name's Asia Dunklin, and she's deaf, and she's super cool because she would always come into my ASL class at in Miss Exon's room, and we could have like conversations with her, and I could get a sign. I have my sign name and stuff. We always made the joke. We would do the sign motor mouth with an L in it, and that Miss Sexton always made fun of me for that because like I love talking.
No, you don't say.
Yeah, that was the worst grade I ever got in elementary school. Worst grade I ever got.
I can tell you as his father, that is the one thing that we never did get onto him for when he was in elementary school. That was on every report card. He talks too much. You know what? If that's the biggest problem that I have with my kid talking and being social, that's not a big problem.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know when to shut up. Yeah, cause now I put my nose where sometimes it shouldn't be, and I get talkative. I'm like, oh hey, that's crazy.
Oh, on another food thing.
Another food thing. We're back on that grind.
So, when you're dealing with spices, especially pepper, understand something about your peppers. Is normally when you say pepper, you're talking about black pepper, right? Okay. So, black pepper is actually a wood. Your body can't digest it. So when you're dealing with spices and peppers, the better peppers are the ones that are actually made from peppers, because black pepper is actually a peppercorn. It's a wood. It's almost a wood product, and your body can't digest it. That's why you have pepper in your crap.
That's so weird. So pepper's wood?
Pepper is a wood.
That's crazy. So actually, that's something that's also nuts. So like, I had those pork steaks yesterday, and I noticed that like my body didn't like really agree with them very much.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't like they're like bad. Like I loved them. They were really good, but it was like my body ain't vibing with this.
Same thing with cinnamon.
Cinnamon?
Is actually a tree bark. That's why it comes in those little rolls. That's why it's dried out the way it is. It's actually a tree bark.
So
You grind it into a powder, but your body really has trouble digesting.
so cinnamon sticks are like they took a chisel to it and just like went right down the side of it like tree bark.
Just rolled it off.
That's crazy. Shoot, what was I gonna say?
That's the thing with anything when you're dealing with anything in the kitchen is you have to understand what you're cooking with.
How it's gonna
dirty
affect.
is this? Can I actually put this much heat on it without destroying it? Can I put this much cold on it without destroying it? And you have to understand what you're cooking with and the molecular structure of it to know that. And that's the thing I would tell anybody that's going to get in the kitchen is get in there and experiment and learn. Okay, don't be afraid of the kitchen. Just get in there and learn. That's the only way you're gonna pick up this stuff is watch people who are way better at it than you are, and you will pick up things along the way that just make so much sense.
Like John.
Like Justin Wilson.
Justin.
Justin Wilson is an old Cajun chef that you can watch on YouTube and some of these other places, and He's just an old timer, and you watch him, and some of the things he will teach you on that show are just little things that he says while he's cooking that you just, I never knew that. That's where I learned the black pepper thing. Was watching Justin Wilson.
Yeah, I know, because I heard him say something about like
Yeah.
pepper and wood or something earlier.
Black
I'm like,
pepper's actually wood.
that's weird.
You watch the other guy that we were talking about. Put that on a cracker dude. Has the Cajun two-step seasoning and stuff.
I'm just gonna call that guy Cajun White Boy because I have no idea what his name
I'm
is.
calling that dude awesome.
You're just
awesome,
gonna call him
awesome Cajun dude on YouTube.
Awesome Cajun Dude on YouTube.
That guy, you watch him, you can learn all kinds of things.
Oh yeah.
Just watching him. Another guy. This guy's on TikTok and on Instagram. His name's Dylan Hollis.
Is that
Dylan
that-
Hollis? He does these cooking things from these like old cookbooks. Like
Is that is the
It'll
dude?
be
He's
like-
really funny. He's gay, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
okay, but
Yeah, I know who you're talking
that's
about.
Neither here nor there. The fact is, this dude has some of the best cooking stuff on there.
Oh, yeah.
He'll make this stuff and be like, that tastes like sin, or
Yeah, like he's funny.
that-
He's funny, and he just
yeah.
like cooks, and it's like really good.
Like he did a chocolate beet cake. You're thinking that is going to be disgusting. So he makes this cake and he's like, I don't know how, but this thing is like really good.
It's like this actually isn't half bad.
But little things you can learn there. Like I already knew this before I watched him, but he uses baking powder. He calls it floof powder, and why do I call it floof powder? Because it makes things floof.
Or
So-
moo juice.
Right,
Milk.
moo juice, milk. Just different things that you can pick up as somebody's talking that they really aren't teaching. They're just
Talking.
talking, and if you just listen to the conversation, there's things you can pick up that just you'll learn so much. Just listen to what they say.
Well then, this has been a very eventful morning. I've enjoyed this morning.
It's been a fantastic morning.
Yes, it has. It has been a fantastic morning. Well, Dad,
Yes, sir.
this is just the end for this morning. This will probably be part of the intro. I don't know what else I'm gonna vlog today. This might be the end of it. It may not be.
No, we'll do another vlog later. Me and you'll go out and do something. We'll figure something out.
I'm probably gonna introduce Mom and Granny at some point.
Yeah.
Mom, the vlog.
I'm sure they'll have something for me to grill when they get home because they're picking up groceries. So
Probably.
we'll just have to.
We'll do a. This is now a cooking channel.
Yeah, we could do a cooking channel. I'm good with that.
Maybe. Better. Alright, well, anyways, vlog. That was the start to this morning. It was just meant to be like cooking an egg, but we did a whole. Hey, this is this. This is this.
Hey,
Peppercorn's wood.
trivia. You ever look at a chef's toque? Every one of the folds in a chef's toque is how many ways he can cook an egg.
The chef hat
And
thingy.
there are over 100 different ways to cook an egg.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay has all of them.
Gordon Ramsay has every one of them. You can learn a lot watching Gordon Ramsay. You may not like his attitude. You may not like the way he talks to people sometimes, but you can learn a lot.
I
listening to that.
wanna make omni rice.
Let's do it.
Do you know what that is?
Nope, but I can figure it out.
It's the hardest way to cook an omelet. It's an old Japanese way of cooking an omelet. They do it with so they get this special thing to mold rice, right? And it almost looks like a steam iron to iron a shirt. And then they don't use a spatula. They use chopsticks.
Yeah.
And it the way they do it, it's so elegant, and they're flipping it every couple of seconds on a walk.
Yeah.
And then they're just slowly doing it, and then they flip it, fold it, and then they just elegantly put it on top of the rice, and then they just slice it down the middle, and it just opens up. Because you don't cook it all the way through. You just
Right.
cook the shell, I guess.
Right. You just cook the exterior of it.
Yeah.
You just get the inside hot enough that it won't kill you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see it done.
That's crazy. Because I would love to do that, but I don't know how to.
There's so many different ways you can do it. Even like a scrambled egg. When most people cook a scrambled egg, they leave it on the stove the whole time it's cooking, and you can't do that. If you want a good scrambled egg, you can't do that. You have to get the pan hot, start your scrambled egg, and take it off, and cook your scrambled egg. And when the pan cools off that it's not cooking anymore, get it back on the heat just long enough to get the pan hot where it starts cooking again, and pull it off. Otherwise, what you end up with these crusty little gnarled up crap pieces of egg that
Not me.
never should have been there
Not
because
me.
you let the pan get too hot.
Oh, I'm learning so many things.
How do you melt chocolate?
Well, you don't put it in a pot. You probably would put like a bowl over a pot of water, get the water boiling and steam
I
it.
have taught you well, my son.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not stupid. I'm
I
not
have
stupid.
Taught you well.
Yeah, because if you would put it like just in the pot, it would like burn to the pan.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will burn your chocolate doing that. You use indirect heating.
Seems like
Indirect heat is the best way to melt chocolate.
It seems like something that would do.
It's also the best way to. It's also the best way to melt butter if you're going to use salted butter
And
you just
queso,
wanna melt it.
queso cheese.
And queso cheese. You use indirect heat.
Yep. Indirect
That's the
heat
best way
is
to
the
do it.
bomb.
If you ever watch my queso, here's the other. Okay, here's one for you. Everybody's always trying to figure out how do you get that runnier queso cheese that you get at the Mexican restaurant, right?
Mhm. Cream.
It's easy to do. So when you get your queso, most people use Velveeta queso cheese.
Mhm.
It's not cheese.
No,
Okay, that's
no.
why Velveeta sits on the shelf and not in the cooler because it's not cheese. It's a food product. But if you're gonna use Velveeta queso, number one, indirect heat. So you want to use basically you get a boiling pot of water. You sit a glass bowl over the top of that, and you put your cheese in the bowl and let the steam and the heat from the water actually melt the cheese. It's indirect heat. It doesn't burn it. The next thing you do is start adding milk or a cream slowly to that mixture till you get it to the thickness that
Desired-
you want it, the
desired
desired
thickness.
Once you get the consistency you want, then you add your like your sausage or your rotel or whatever.
JJ makes queso, and that man, he like bakes his queso, and it like melts down perfectly, and it's really good. And it has like sausage and like all this stuff in it.
Yeah.
And it's like the most. You could tell a teenage boy made it, but it is so good.
It's bachelor food.
Yes. Yes, it's like, wow, you can tell that this was not done professionally whatsoever. But oh my God, every time I go to his house and they're having a party, he makes it. It's one of the best quesos I've ever had.
Here's something. This will make a good queso. You want a good queso? Do this. Get your white queso cheese.
Mhm.
Get it down to a pretty thin consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Warm up a can of Hormel chili.
Mm.
No beans, just the Hormel chili.
Yeah.
No beans.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
A
about.
can or two of that, and mix that in with it, and a can of Rotel. That'll make you slap your grandma right there, bro.
I don't want to slap Granny.
Make you slap your grandma.
Just kidding. Sometimes I want to slap Granny. Obviously, that's a joke.
Hey,
Most of the time.
I'm gonna say something that not a lot of men are gonna say, but I will tell you this: my mother-in-law is hands down the best mother-in-law on the planet. I don't care how good your mother-in-law is; she is not as good as my mother-in-law. I love my mother-in-law to death. She is one of the most awesome people I've ever met in my life. I would probably have offed myself a long time ago had it not been for my wife and my mother-in-law. They have talked me off a ledge more than once.
That got really dark really quickly. Like it was like sunshine lollipops bring a tear to your eye, and then it was just like all the lights went out.
Those two right there are the two most golden-hearted people I have ever met.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mom's awesome. Granny's awesome. We love Granny.
Granny's the bomb jiggity.
Mm-hmm. Actually, vlog, we'll check back in as soon as they're home. We'll do a formal introduction of Granny.
Mama and Granny.
Yeah, Granny and Mama, Mama and Granny. Granny is, if you didn't catch on, is my mom's mom.
And my princess. That is what I call her. If you are not referring to your wife or your girlfriend as princess or my love or something of that nature, go look in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself. Because my princess is the bomb.
I'm currently king right now because I just started doing that. I have the power. All right, vlog. We'll check back in as soon as mom and granny are home. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video and blah, 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 blah. Did it shut off? No. That vlog is why I stopped filming, because I failed that. That did not end well. Gotta go over here, do some lunges. No. What time is it? Because I do need to get going at some point. I need to leave here by 10. Do Romanian deadlifts. That's what I'll do. And then I'll wrap up the vlog when I get home. Well, vlog, that is gonna be a wrap for today. Had a long day. I'm gonna wrap up, go to bed. Currently just kind of winding down right now. I will lay in bed for a little bit, look for some job opportunities that are closer to the school where I work, or where I go to school or whatever. But yeah, that's what's going on. Hope y'all had an amazing day. I hope y'all ate, drank your water. And I hope y'all having an even better tomorrow, because I'm not filming tomorrow. But, yeah. So, good night. I love you guys. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification. Yeah. Y'all have a great night. Love y'all.